When we think of villains in the Spider-Verse, the usual rogues gallery comes to mind. Venom, Green Goblin, Dr. Octavius, Sandman, Carnage, the heavy hitters with powers, weapons, and city leveling schemes. But no, the most diabolical of them all isn't a monster, a mad scientist, or an alien parasite. She doesn't wear a mask, and she doesn't throw a single punch. Yet, somehow, she causes more lasting chaos in Peter Parker's life than all of them combined. Her name, Mary Jane Watson.
I seriously hate you. Listen to what I'm saying. I can't stand you.
The true hidden villain of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Really? Mary Jane? Homegirl with the luscious red locks? She's supposed to be the girl next door, Peter's lifelong crush, the romantic payoff we're meant to root for. But look closer and you'll see she's not the supportive partner the narrative paints her to be. Across 3 films, she repeatedly undermines, manipulates, and emotionally whiplashes Peter, and it's not just him. Every guy she dates seems to get caught in the same cycle. At this point, I'm convinced movie MJ has to be an honorary member of the Sinister Six. Forget Craven, forget Mysterio, this level of emotional damage and calculated messiness doesn't happen by accident. The Green Goblin may have been throwing pumpkin bombs, but MJ, she's for the streets. And the fact that she did all of this without weapons or superpowers, honestly, more impressive. If this is not her origin story, then the rest of the trilogy is her full villain arc. But before we start dragging MJ, let's be fair, her home life wasn't the best, and she didn't exactly have the best role models when it came to love.
You're trash! You're always gonna be trash, just like her!
Mary Jane Watson, played by Kristen Dunst, is introduced as Peter Parker's neighbor, the classic girl next door with big dreams and a complicated home life. She's living in a toxic household. Her father is verbally and emotionally abusive, and her family environment is cold and unsupportive. This upbringing shapes a lot of who MJ becomes. It explains her constant need for validation, love, and attention. The way she uses relationships as a lifeline to escape the dysfunction at home is the kind of background that can make someone deeply sympathetic, but also deeply messy. And while her past gives context, it doesn't excuse the trail of emotional wreckage she leaves in her wake across all 3 films. What brings us to the real question: how did the girl next door end up being one of Peter Parker's biggest sources of pain? Starting with the first movie, we meet MJ when she stops the bus so Peter can hop on. And you, Mr. Bus Driver, giggling and cackling over there, you're about to get a termination letter of a lifetime. She did an act of kindness. I can rock with that, but we have to cancel out the kindness because she's dating Flash. No, not that one. Flash Thompson. You know, the guy who's actively bullying Peter in front of her face. And she definitely knows that her boyfriend is bullying people because Peter isn't his only victim. He may be the main dish, but he be targeting the side dishes as well. What's wild to me is that MJ is dating a guy who resembles and somewhat acts like her father. Flash bullies people and doesn't write in front of her, and she doesn't care. As long as he doesn't bully me, I'm okay with him physically and mentally harming others. Any goodwill from the bus moment, gone. Look at this scene right here. Flash is ready to throw hands at Peter, and all MJ says, "Come on, Flash, stop. Look at me. This isn't you." Girl, be so effing for real. That's not gonna accomplish anything. Also, what is this fighting stance?
Is that? Oh shit, what is that?
Giving the same energy as this dude who tried to mug Uncle Iroh. As I mentioned earlier, we find out MJ's got a rough home life, an abusive father who constantly tears her down. It explains her craving for validation, but it doesn't excuse what she does for the rest of the film. Skipping ahead, she dumps Flash on graduation day.
Clap if you care. All right, let's move on. Perfect.
Like, I'm not upset at her for breaking up with Flash, cause you could do so much better than the class bully, but the day of graduation, you couldn't do this the day before or a week ago. Like, damn, give me a heads up at least. Oh, but don't worry, she doesn't stay single for long. She rebounds instantly with Harry, Peter's best friend. Strike one. As I tell my fellow ladies, never let a guy ruin your friendship. The same with dudes. Never let a girl break your bromance. It's never worth it. Like, do not pull a Mordecai and kill your best friend over a girl.
I'll kill you!
cheating with Harry is okay. It's not illegal, but it's absolutely trifling. I say that because MJ is not even effing with Harry for real. He goes in for a kiss and she turns her head in disgust like he's revolting. Look, I get not wanting the kiss to do, that's fine. But MJ, you're dating him. You're going out to dinners, holding hands in public, smiling for the cameras, and meanwhile, you're internally gagging every time he tries to be affectionate. You are leading this man on, pack it up. Now, let's talk about the alleyway kiss. Everyone remembers it as this iconic romantic moment. It was probably an awakening for many people, but if you think about it, this kiss isn't the romantic masterpiece fans remember. First things first, MJ is dating Harry. 2, she's kissing a masked stranger who just rescued her, which, yeah, is gratitude, but there's gratitude, and then there's making out with a guy in the rain while your boyfriend's at home. 3, I know the movie is expecting us, the audience, to cheer and applaud for Peter getting the tier 2, but she doesn't know that Peter is Spider-Man, so she's just out here locking lips with a random ass man. And 4, she's cheating on Harry. Strike 2. And before anyone thinks I'm letting Peter off the hook that easily, oh no, he's equally guilty, if not more. Peter, my guy, you know MJ is not on the market. You know she's dating your best friend. And yet here you are in full Spider-Man costume having a whole upside down steamy makeout session with tongue. That was not an accident. That's I'm knowingly crossing every friendship boundary possible while pretending it's fine because my mask is on. Hun, it's messy on both sides. MJ might be stirring the pot, but Peter's right there holding the spoon. And there's zero shame. Not once do we see MJ question how shady this is. She doubles down, gushing to Harry on the phone about how incredible and amazing Spider-Man is while still dating him, and then hanging up like, anyway, good night. Then she turns around and has another heart-to-heart with Peter after Aunt May got blown the hell up.
Oh my god, it's not funny.
I'm sorry, this isn't funny, but it's just the way her body got blown back. I'm like, oh my god, like, that's elderly abuse. I know I'm going to hell, but that was so funny to me. I'm sorry. Okay, what was I saying? Right, MJ. She knows for a fact that Peter is down bad for her just to gush about her feelings for Spider-Man.
I wanna eat your dick.
Can she not read the room? The vibes are not vibing. By the film's climax, she's kidnapped by Green Goblin.
Oh. All right.
What? MJ throughout the entire movie was acting like a clown. This is clown behavior. I'm not saying she deserved it, but let's call it for what it is. The universe evening the score. I'll admit to it. I'm actually glad MJ got snatched up by Goblin because we get these elite horror movie screams. Damn, she got some powerful lungs. What's frying me is the fact that she's getting choked out while dangling from a bridge, hanging on a cable while being swung around like a rag doll, and then gripping the cable car for dear life. If I were somehow in MJ's position, it would have been raps for me. I got the upper body strength of a jellyfish. And then the cherry on top, by the end of the movie, her and Harry are officially broken up. Am I supposed to care? I feel bad for Harry, he was fully invested in MJ. And what does she do next? MJ decided she wasn't messy enough and confesses her feelings to Peter at her ex-boyfriend's father's funeral. That's strike 3. Harry is better than me because the way I would have caught immediate hands with both of them. Ain't no way my daddy just died, body still warm, not even 6 feet in the ground, and y'all out here swapping spit? And this is how I know MJ isn't okay in the membrane, because there is a time and a place for everything. Now is not the time to be making moves on your ex-boyfriend's best friend at his father's funeral. This is straight villain behavior. She's over here ping-ponging between Peter and Harry like some twisted love triangle, and every serve is another crack in their friendship. Honestly, if Green Goblin wanted to destroy Peter's personal life, he could have just let MJ keep doing her thing. And you know what? Now after watching all 3 films, I can see why Harry crashed out the way he did. And that's only the first Spider-Man film. We got 2 more to go, and trust me, it only gets messier from there. Starting hot in the sequel, the very first time we see Mary Jane in Spider-Man 2, she's rolling into Peter's birthday party with Harry, her ex? Wow, just wow. I don't know about you, but I would have evaporated on sight. The tension in that room would have suffocated me. But before we get into the mess that is Mary Jane Watson, let's talk about how garbage Peter's life is right now. My guy is never catching a break. He just got fired from his job. His old boss is printing front page slander about his alter ego. His professor basically tells him, fail this next assignment and you're done. Aunt May, the woman who raised him, is behind on her rent. His best friend Harry is furious because Peter takes pictures of Spider-Man, the guy Harry thinks killed his father, and resents him for not revealing Spider-Man's identity. Oh, and Peter himself also behind on his rent and living in this dingy ass apartment building. Not to mention, all of this happened on his birthday. Where is the nearest bridge? Take me out, coach. This is too much. Going back to MJ in the sequel, this is her peak toxicity. She's living her dream currently as an actress, so we all know she's about to flop. She's starring in a play and desperately wants Peter to be there and see her. Fair enough, but when Peter misses it because, you know, he's Spider-Man, she takes it like a personal betrayal. So, what's her next move? She agrees to marry this random ass astronaut. I don't even know where he came from. MJ didn't do it out of love, not because she's ready, but purely to spite Peter. And the astronaut, he's nobody important, just the son of J. Jonah Jameson. Bro, you can't even make this ish up. Peter is the universe's personal punching bag. And what's even more messed up is that MJ is doing everything in her power to cheat on her fiance.
Wait a minute, hold on.
This poor guy, and honestly, I don't even know his name, Jonathan, Jonah, John, whatever, is just an innocent casualty in MJ's personal revenge tour. He hasn't done anything wrong, but he's smack in the middle of her get back at Peter plot. She's not dating him out of love, she's using him like a prop in her one-woman drama. And the audacity doesn't stop there. There's a scene where she tells him to lie down in a certain position so she can kiss him, and the pose is identical to her upside down kiss with Spider-Man. MJ stays disrespecting any man she's with, huh? Not only did she say yes to marrying this man, an astronaut no less, she's also being mentally unfaithful. She's thinking about another man mid-kiss. That's foul. It's disrespectful to him, to the engagement, and I'm just like, MJ, girl, you're losing me. Like, I'm losing the plot of what you're trying to do here. Imagine proposing to someone thinking you're their one and only, and meanwhile, they're using you as a stand-in for the person they really want. Later in the film, the weight of constant stress, exhaustion, and the impossible tug-of-war between a normal life and his Spider-Man duties starts to break Peter down. His powers begin to fail, and eventually he hangs up the mask entirely. Freed from the superhero grind, Peter throws himself into school and actually starts doing well for once. In this brief taste of normalcy, he goes to see Mary Jane in a low-rent Broadway knockoff, which clearly means the world to her. It's in this moment that Peter finally works up the courage to tell her how he feels, showing her he's changed. But MJ, she shuts that shit down. And of course, because, you know, she's got a whole ass fiance, but that moral high ground crumbles fast when you remember she's been fantasizing about kissing Spider-Man and Peter while locking lips with somebody else. She can't accept this changed Peter in front of her, so she walks away.
Rejected! Rejected! Yeah, you just got rejected! REJECTED, rejected!
3 days later.
Kiss me.
Sometime later, Peter and MJ meet up at a cozy little coffee shop, and from the jump, she's on the offensive. MJ leans in, pressing Peter hard, practically demanding he admits he's in love with her. You love me. Just say it. You know you want all this. Don't deny it. Wait, why does this scene look so familiar?
Flashback.
Awful timing, but we were meant to be.
Barry, what are you talking about?
You and me. We like each other.
I love Eddie.
Okay.
Is this a trend in the superhero world? Wow, if I had a nickel for every time the love interest confesses their feelings at a coffee shop only to get rejected, I have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. When Peter refuses, she changed tactics.
Kiss me. Just one kiss.
Why? Because in her head, this little experiment might confirm whether Peter is Spider-Man. Now here's the gag. She's still engaged to the astronaut. The ring is right there, gleaming under the cafe lights, and she's out here publicly cheating on another man. How she doesn't feel the weight of that rock crushing her finger is beyond me. Even the cameraman knew she was wild for this one. They literally zoom in on the engagement ring like,
Are you watching this shit?
and shocker, MJ gets kidnapped again, this time by Dr. Octavius, who is following the instructions from none other than Harry, her ex. Listen, Harry, he was on demon time in this movie. Peter swings in, talks no jutsu Doc Ock, and then the whole lair starts to cave in. Peter's holding up an entire building with his bare hands, back breaking, sweat pouring, and MJ standing underneath him like,
You do love me. You do love me. You do love me.
ma'am, what? What does love have to do with him saving you from being turned into a pancake? What was his other option? Let you get crushed?
Get out the way.
This girl has 0 survival instincts. Peter still gets her out and now she knows his secret. He admits he loves her, but he says they can't be together because Spider-Man will always have enemies. That should have been the emotional, bittersweet ending. Roll credits, right? Nah, we still got like, what, 10 more minutes in this film? MJ decides she's about to up the toxicity levels to new heights. Worse than kissing her ex-boyfriend's best friend at his father's funeral. By now, we all know she doesn't love her fiance. She loves Peter. A normal, decent human being would break off the engagement before the wedding day. But MJ, oh nah, drama is her cardio. She stays engaged to the astronaut she clearly isn't with right up until the day of the wedding. In her dress with the guest there, the cake ready, the man waiting at the altar, and then bolts to Peter. She left this man with a lifetime subscription of trust issues. What's killing me is the fact that it's only after MJ finds out Peter is Spider-Man that she suddenly decides to leave John at the altar and chase after him. And that timing is shady as hell. It gives the impression that she wasn't fully into Peter as Peter Parker. She only sealed the deal once she knew he was a superhero. That reinforces the long-running criticism that MJ is more enamored with Spider-Man's mask than the man underneath it. And let's be real, the way she dumped John was cold. No warning, no conversation, just straight up leaving him humiliated in front of a church full of guests. It's not just messy anymore, that's borderline cruel. And John, he's just collateral damage in her Peter/Spider-Man fantasy. If I were John, I would be furious. That wedding did not look cheap. It looked like the kind of event that cost serious money. We're talking venue, flowers, catering, and everything you would expect at an expensive wedding. Not only did MJ waste John's time, but she also wasted the time of everyone who got dressed up, cleared their schedules, and showed up to celebrate. All that planning, all those expenses just down the drain, all for her to pull a dramatic runaway bride stunt. So, at the end of Spider-Man 2, they officially get together. Am I supposed to be happy? I mean, I guess I'll clap it up. Woohoo. MJ says, "It doesn't matter to me if you're Spider-Man or Peter Parker. I love you. And as long as we're together, there's nothing we can't overcome."
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Peter and MJ are officially a couple, but calling their relationship stable will be like calling New York traffic relaxing. MJ's Broadway career is tanking, not Mary Jane in her flop era. She gets fired because her acting is straight garbage, and instead of leaning on Peter for support, she starts feeling like she's in his shadow. MJ is feeling envious of all the attention and success Peter has as Spider-Man.
What?
Did you not, in the last couple of minutes of the last movie, say you didn't care about Peter being Spider-Man and Spider-Man being Peter, and as long as we're together, we can do anything?
I mean, I
I swear, MJ switches up every movie, and now she's mad at her partner for being Spider-Man. Make it make sense. However, I can't be too harsh on MJ because Peter, he was on some demon time in this movie.
How dare you!
What's even more wild is that he doesn't even apologize to MJ for kissing Gwen and attempts to do a proposal at dinner. You know what? They're both messy as hell. Maybe they do deserve each other. But back to me dragging MJ, she's still not in the clear because when she finally calls Peter out, she has the nerve to say,
That was our kiss.
That was our kiss. That was our kiss.
you were literally doing the exact same thing in the last movie with your fiance, telling him to position himself so you can recreate the upside down Spider-Man kiss. Hot meat kettle. But here's where it goes off the rails. Instead of actually talking out like adults, MJ decides to run to Harry. Yes, that Harry, her ex. The same guy who's been side-eyeing Peter since forever, and she wastes no time kissing him. So let me see if I understand this. In the first movie, MJ cheats on Harry by kissing Spider-Man. In the second movie, she's engaged to an astronaut but still tries to get Peter to kiss her, then ditches her fiance at the altar the moment she finds out Peter is Spider-Man. And in the third movie, she cheats on Peter by kissing Harry? Wow, she might actually be a hidden member of the Sinister Six. So Peter attempts to apologize and propose to Mary Jane again, but she breaks up with him. This whole back and forth between them is giving me a headache. I don't know who's more toxic, Peter and MJ or Barry and Iris. But before all of you start acting like a mob, it was actually Harry under the twisted influence of his father's Green Goblin persona who manipulates MJ into breaking up with Peter because he's still mad about him killing his daddy. Even though it wasn't really him, it was actually his glider that stabbed him, but okay. She doesn't want to break up with him, but fear for his safety wins out. Meanwhile, Peter, now under the corrupting influence of the symbiote, grows colder, harsher, and more self-absorbed. Peter is now officially tweaking and wants his get back. And how does he do that? Nah, but in all seriousness, he uses Gwen by taking her to the bar where MJ works. And then, as if the drama wasn't nauseating enough, we're subjugated to the most cringe-inducing dance sequence ever put on film. Like, we can all see that Tobey Maguire was having so much fun in this movie. Thanks to him, we got this classic gem right here. But I feel so bad for Gwen, honestly. She's just like the fiance from the last movie, an innocent bystander sucked into Peter and MJ's tangled web of clownery. And Peter actually hits MJ, giving her that back of the hand pimp slap. And I probably sound like a broken record because MJ gets kidnapped again. Damn, she 3 for 3. She got kidnapped throughout the whole trilogy. This time by Eddie Brock in the Venom suit. Bro, where did you even come from? And what is that face? Ooh. No, I need to talk whoever designed this. This was not a good depiction of Venom. Like, yikes. With the power of friendship and being exes to the same woman, both Peter and Harry team up to stop the Sandman and Venom and save MJ, but unfortunately, Harry dies in Peter's arms. Sometime after the funeral, Peter visits MJ at the jazz club. They share a silent, bittersweet dance, and that's it, roll credits. The movie leaves us with an ambiguous ending, as if we're supposed to assume they've forgiven each other and are heading towards some happily ever after. Honestly, I hope they stay broken up for good and never circle back. Both MJ and Peter deserve fresh starts with people who don't drag them into endless loop of drama. If anything, the trilogy proves they bring out the absolute worst in each other and not the best. So, in conclusion, Mary Jane Watson from the Sam Raimi trilogy is the worst girlfriend in superhero history. Fight me in the comment section about it, and she will forever hold the crown for being the most toxic girlfriend. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And let me know in the comment section down below if you wish for me to talk about Amber from Invincible next. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!